All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Breaking and Entering podcast. Happy Veterans Day to everyone. Brandon, Tyrone, Brandon, how you doing, man? How you doing today?
I'm good, man. Bye week. I can relax.
Yep. I'm good, bro. I'm blessed.
All right, good to hear that. I want to welcome Tyrone to the show, special guest. Tyrone, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Who's your favorite team and everything?
Well, I'm a NFL fan. Let me get out of here. My favorite team is supposed to be the Cowboys, but that hadn't been the case in a while.
I got you.
It hadn't been the case in a while. Since Prescott has emerged, that they coddle to him, meaning they feel sorry for him. Mom died of cancer. His brother committed suicide. So he comes in being coddled. And there's no way in hell a quarterback before him or today that can play like he plays and not get ridiculed. I mean, all the weapons he has, and he still can't make do with what he has. He gets coddled. I mean, they talk about, oh, he's tough. He's leader. He's brave. What the hell they got to do with playing the quarterback position? Because everything I just said, I'm that too, and I'm sure you guys are too. And we ain't playing football.
Yep.
So they say nothing about his accuracy. They say nothing about him being able to read defenses. They talk about nothing as far as what he's good at when it comes to playing quarterback position. They don't talk about that. They talk about personal things. Is why they like him. Listen to what they talk about when it comes to Prescott. It's all personal, nothing to do with playing the game of football.
True.
So what I get from that is he's being coddled. They feel sorry for him, so they keep him playing the position. Yeah, that's it, bro. He sucks, man. He sucks. He always has.
I got you. All right, well, we're gonna talk about your Cowboys a little later, but let's get started with this opening drive first. The Packers, they claim former Raiders first-round pick safety Jonathan Abrams off waivers. He got released by the Raiders a couple days ago. That's another one of the Mike Mayock draft class.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a big one, y'all. The Commanders, Daniel Snyder, and Roger Goodell all being sued by Washington, D.C. Attorney General for colluding to deceive the fans. I'm going to talk about that a little later. Raiders linebacker Blake Martinez retired. I believe he played with the Giants and the Packers as well. Yep. I think he got drafted by the Packers. And Colts linebacker Shaq Leonard has been placed on IR. He's only played about 3 games this season, so hopefully he can get healthy. But yeah, I want to get into this situation with the Commanders, Dan Snyder and Goodell. Hopefully, man, this is, beginning of the end for this guy Snyder, man, because this dude has run his franchise into the ground. I'm a Commanders fan, so I'm a little bit more biased. But this dude, Snyder, has run his franchise into the ground. And I appreciate the Attorney General for doing this. I don't know if y'all heard when that news first came out, Snyder kind of made a statement. It was like, well, y'all need to focus more on finding the guy who shot Brian Robinson. And that didn't work out too well for him because the president, Jason Wright, he basically had to come out and say a statement to kind of, I don't want to say backtrack, but kind of like smooth over that other statement. So it's messy right now. And Roger Goodell, he got caught in a mix too. Last year, matter of fact, they got fined. The Commanders got fined like about $10 million just because all the craziness that they were dealing with and how they didn't handle that situation with sexual harassment well. So we'll see what's going on with that. Brandon, you got any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I'm about the same thing with you. Hopefully it's the beginning of the end. I just don't know what good it'll do besides the fact that he came out and basically said that, they was going to Bank of America for a transaction, but it never really said what it kind of, if you put 2 and 2 together, it makes it seem like he's going to sell the team, but it's like, until I see it, I just won't believe it. So yeah, that's my kind of thoughts on that. I just don't know that it'll do any good as far as getting him out of the door when it's all said and done. Tyrone?
Gotcha. Yeah, Tyrone, what do you think about this?
Yesterday was actually briefly I was caught up on it. I still didn't understand what was going on. You guys are kind of filling me in on just what I know at this point. So I guess he's trying to sell the team.
Yeah.
or not trying to sell the team. I just don't get what was wrong and what he was doing. Like I said, I just hadn't been caught up to speed on that. I've been hearing about it, but no one's brought me the light on it.
Basically the attorney general for Washington D.C. he's suing the Commanders, he's suing Daniel Snyder, and he's suing the NFL commish Roger Goodell for basically all colluding to deceive the fans. Like everything that Daniel Snyder has done to the Commanders, they're basically saying that Roger Goodell and the rest of the NFL swept it under the rug to make the team look better than what they actually are. So they basically getting sued for that, trying to all that dirt, like the sexual harassment stuff with the cheerleaders and all that craziness, even ticket prices and manipulating the ticket prices and stuff like that. They getting sued for all that stuff. So we'll see what happens. Definitely see what happens. But let's get into this Thursday night game last night. Panthers Falcons. NFL's done a hell of a job with these damn Thursday night games so far with these matchups. The Panthers beat the Falcons 25-15. Brandon, me and you were texting before this game. I was like, I think the Falcons should win. I think you were on the same tune, but once again, it was the other way. The Panthers beat them. It was a rainy night. Did you see this game at all, man, Brandon?
Yeah, I watched the first half and I turned it off at halftime or just into the third quarter
I don't blame you.
because, like you said, I picked Atlanta and it was going in the favor of Carolina.
Yeah.
Not that I dislike Carolina. It was just like, it was no point in me watching at that point. I didn't think Atlanta had enough to come back into it. They just kept penalizing that Carolina team 10 times, and I'm surprised they made it out of that versus 4. It seemed like every time I turned around, the yellow flag was going down. It was a bunch of holding penalties on Carolina on that offensive line. But I expect a little bit more from Cordell Patterson in this game. It seemed like that would have been an advantage to them, especially after the game that Joe Mixon had 4 touchdowns on the ground and 1 receiving, if I'm not mistaken, last week. He's like, they're all, do it all guy, but they just couldn't get anything going there. But I got to piggyback to you real quick. Another 2 reception game for your boy Kyle Pitts. What do you think about that?
God. I mean, I don't know, man. It's like Mariota. Every time he sees Kyle Pitts wide open, he can't figure out how to throw him the ball. Drake London, he can, spiral in there, double coverage and hit him in the end zone. Somebody else, who was it? Zacchaeus, I think he was wide open, streaking down the side. He caught him, no problem. But Kyle Pitts, for whatever reason, those 2 catches he made, one of them, he had to freaking catch the ball so high and juggle it to catch it. I'm like, Mariota, can you just give this guy a chance, man? But I don't know, man. Tyrone, did you see this game at all last night, man?
Not really. It had started late. I was trying to watch it from the very beginning, and I realized they had a rain delay. And so by the time it got started, I was into doing something else. I was able to catch up with the school later on. But no, I didn't really catch none of the activity and actually what went on during the game and how the game was played out. No, I didn't. It was actually the game I wanted to stay away from because I play a lot of fantasy. And I was just looking at it. I was just looking at it to see what was going to happen. And yeah, your boy Kyle Pitts, man, he need help. Atlanta really don't have any weapons. So when you have only one weapon, that's all they have to key on to stop you, So it's not that Kyle Pitts is bad, man. He's going to turn out to be, I think, a great tight end. He just don't have any help at this point.
It's funny. Ed and I was talking about that before we came on here. If Kyle Pitts wants to have a good career, he either need a new quarterback or need to go somewhere else.
That's it.
No disrespect to Mariota, but and then he had Matt Ryan last year.
Mariota, because I'm pissed at this point. I got Kyle Pitts on my fantasy team. I'm getting killed. I need some points from this dude, man.
Dude, I passed on Kyle Pitts for that
Smart
reason.
Man.
Because he has no help. He's gonna be getting all the targets, but everyone's gonna key on him, so he's not gonna get those receptions.
And that's exactly what they did last night. That J.C. Horn, the Panthers cornerback, he was on him all night basically. So I don't know. And then when he did throw him the ball, it was getting picked off, or he Mariota would throw a lame duck after running for his life. He didn't really get too much help from the offensive line. The last play of the game, I think the Panthers defender, he just rushed right past the guard trying to block and got the sack to end the game. I was just like, really? So I don't know, man. Prayers to Kyle Pitts.
All right. The Colts, they'll be under new leadership when they travel to Sin City on Sunday afternoon and take on the Raiders, 4:00 p.m. Eastern time. start there from Allegiant Stadium. I'm going to go with the Raiders in this game as of now, even though they just put Waller and Renfro on IR.
Yeah.
Just because they're at home, I think these two teams aren't, they both kind of disappointed this year as far as records go. But I really wanted to get y'all's thoughts on the Jeff Saturday hire. A guy that hadn't had any experience in NFL or college football. They had Reggie Wayne on the staff as the wide receiver coach. They had Gus Bradley there as well. And then they get this guy from outside the organization. Yeah, he had some, history with the team. Obviously, he played center there for 12 years, I think it was. But between that, the Jeff Saturday, and then Jim Irsay in the press conference, he was like, I know how to build a franchise. I had the fourth winningest franchise since 2000. But yet this is a press conference you're talking about where you fired one coach and you bring in an interim coach, and you're going to go out there and say that. So I want to get y'all's thoughts on that.
Yeah. No, go ahead, Tyrone.
Well, this what they've been harping about, that what is it, the Rooney Rule, giving African Americans a chance, and
Absolutely.
they leapfrog that big time. They leapfrog that, man. They like, damn. I mean, it couldn't get any worse than slapping the face to us African Americans. I mean, you got Reggie Wayne, you got black coaches on the staff, and not that you go get a coach that's coaching from somewhere else, somebody that has experience.
Exactly.
I mean, you do as bad as go reach and get another white man that has only high school coaching experience.
Yep.
I mean, wow. If that is not a message to the black man, I don't know what is.
Indeed.
That's pretty much telling you are not a leader. For the NFL, you are not a type of leader that the white man want for this kind of organization. I mean, that's what it's pretty much telling black people coming from some white men, not all white men.
Yeah.
Some white men don't look at African Americans as a leader, as a go-getter, as somebody that can uplift and provide and do for a man and motivate a man. Just the white man don't think a black man is capable of that. That's what that's telling me. That's what this hire told me. I mean, some other cases you can look at, you can be like, you can think about it, you can talk about it, you can twist it, you can turn it. But this one right here, you ain't got to do that. It's straight up disrespect. That's what it was.
Yeah. I mean,
that's straight up what it was.
Same old NFL to me. If you ain't in that good old boys club, you might not get up there in the ranks. So I was like, when I saw the hire, but then after I thought about it, like, I thought Deuce Staley for the Eagles, I thought he had a good chance of getting the Eagles job, but they gave it to Sirianni. Now I know it's a little different. He had coaching experience, but just look at it. All these guys, like you mentioned, Reggie Wayne, guys who on coaching staff, they play in the league and they've been on the coaching staff for years. They'll get bypassed for something that's hot and new. So, I mean, yeah, it is what it is. But as far as this game, I don't trust Sam Ehlinger, so I'm gonna go with the Raiders as well. Hopefully, Josh Jacobs can get back on track. I know Brandon, you've been wanting to see what he can do. I know last game he didn't really do much. Josh Jacobs, Devontae Adams, Matt Collins, he kind of jumped out there once Renfro's been dealing with his injury. So I'm gonna go with the Raiders. The Colts, they dealing with injuries. Shaq Leonard, he just got placed on IR, as we mentioned earlier. And I don't even know if Jonathan Taylor's playing. He had that ankle injury last game. So I'm still trying to figure out if he's going to play or not. So I'm going to go with the Raiders. Tyrone, who you think going to win this game? Colts or the Raiders?
Oh, Raiders. I mean, the Colts don't have a quarterback. They don't have a running back. They don't have a coach, a head coach. They are in disarray, bro. Man, they can actually start thinking about preseason. I mean, not preseason, but the offseason on what they're going to do to prepare and get their team back acclimated to NFL standards as far as trying to win some games, man. Yeah, I mean, I picked the Raiders up for my defensive fantasy because I know that they're gonna mollywop the coaches, just like the Pats did last week. I mean, the Pats held the quarterback. I don't know what he had, but in my fantasy league, I checked. The dude was minus 13 after the game was over. So I don't know what that implied as far as what he did or didn't do. I just know it's not gonna work for him.
Definitely not. All right, Tyrone. So Cowboys at Packers, y'all had the Bears and the Lions. Yeah. I think y'all facing a little stiffer test just because of Aaron Rodgers, even though they on like a 5-6 game losing streak. How you feeling about this game? I know what you said earlier about Dak Prescott. So what you thinking?
Well, the Packers are in disarray too, bro.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
We really can't pinpoint the problem other than receivers. But even after you're looking at that, I mean, Aaron Rodgers is not making the best throws either. You know, so just with saying that and how the Cowboys are playing, regardless if they got Prescott or not, they can win this game with or without Prescott. Prescott
Okay.
is not a difference maker. You guys know this. He's a game manager, meaning that he's going to manage what everyone else is doing. So if you tell me, or if you tell a Cowboy fan, if you tell anybody that we got to win this game with Prescott's arm because the running game is not working, nothing else is working, we got to win it with your arm. Cowboys lose 9 times out of 10. But because they don't have to do that, because the Packers are that bad, they can win this game. They can win this game. I'm not saying that it's an automatic because of any given Sunday, but the odds are in the Cowboys' favor because the Packers just don't know where they are right now.
Yep.
Neither do we. You know? But like I said about Prescott, when the going gets tough, you will see that. When the defense stacks 8 men in the box and say, we're going to stop Zeke, we don't care about you passing. That's when the Cowboys lose. Because now they got to depend on the passing game because the running game is not working. Cowboys lose 9 times out of 10. So if that's the case, how in the world do you say that's the quarterback to keep? If you can depend on him when it matters because nothing else is working, how is he the man to keep? The man before him, Romo, that's why they won. Because of his arm. DeMarcus Ware, the so-called best player on the other side, he faded away during games. No, he got one sack in the fourth quarter. Statistically shown, 1 sack in the fourth quarter.
Wow.
Meaning that Romo lost high-scoring games. And at the end of the day, whose fault was it? Romo.
Yeah.
Romo's. They didn't talk about DeMarcus Ware. They didn't talk about any other running back that didn't do nothing. They talk about Romo. So fast forward about 10 years. You got a different scenario now. Now you have a prolific defense, okay offense, and like a quarterback that can only manage things. So when things are not going well, you blame the defense, you blame the coach, you blame everything but the guy in charge, Prescott. The times is changed. They were blaming Romo, but now they won't blame Prescott. Romo didn't have what Prescott has, an elite defense. You know, Romo had just all he had was him and his receivers. He made Sam Hurd good. He made Miles Austin good. He made all these guys good. Why do I say that? Because when they went to other teams, did you ever hear about him? No.
Yeah.
It was all Romo. All Romo. But now that the Cowboys don't have Romo and they have a complete team, somehow it's not the quarterback's fault. It's the team's fault. And that's where I turn my head when it comes to being a Cowboy fan, because I'm a real American. You know, when you're a real American, you know, you vote. You're objective. You're critical because you want certain things and you're vocal about it. So when it comes to being a real fan, I'm the same way. Casual fans go with the flow. Oh, he's our quarterback. Let's cheer for him anyway. Now, if he suck, he suck. You need to say that.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I've gotten a lot of backlash because I speak my mind about Prescott. Oh, I'm not a Cowboy fan. And I tell them exactly what I just said. Real fans speak their mind, just like a real American.
Got you.
Real fans should be objective and critical, just like an American. You know what I mean? But for some reason, he's coddled. And he get to keep the position. Like I said, let's just see how it pan out. I'm just waiting till the day that he's released so everybody can say that you were right for a whole 7 years. And I've been right for past 7 years, man.
I don't know, man. I think I might hold on to him for a little bit longer. We'll see. But as far as this game, I think the Cowboys should win. I think that defense, Michael Parsons and those guys, they're going to get after Aaron Rodgers. And they got some ball hogs back there. Well, they got Trevon Diggs back there. I don't know which receiver is going to step up. Maybe Allen Lazard, but I don't see them doing too much. I think they're going to keep my guy, AJ, forget his last name, AJ Green, the running back for the Packers. But anyway, Aaron Jones. Yeah,
Aaron Jones.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think they're going to keep him in check for the most part. So I'm gonna stick with the Cowboys in this one. What about you, Brandon? Who you think got this game?
Yeah, Mike McCarthy Bowl there at Lambeau, going back to his home.
That's
his
right.
old former team, Dallas, fresh off the bye. I think Cowboys fans, they've been talking about Tony Pollard just about all season, but definitely more recently with Zeke been banged up.
Yeah.
Cowboys lead the league in sacks. I think that it's going to be a long day for the Green Bay offensive line, even though it is Aaron Rodgers and he can get out of some of those pressure type situations. 3 interceptions last week for him. Plus you got Al Lazard, Sammy Watkins, and Aaron Jones. They're all questionable. I'm pretty sure they'll be out there, but don't know if they'll be full strength. And they definitely need those guys because those are probably 3 of the better playmakers that they do have right now. But yeah, even the kicker is banged up. Mason Crosby was on the injury report earlier today. So again, I'll go with the Cowboys. I just think it's just a downward spiral right now for the Packers. Unfortunately, I do like them, but it's not looking good for them.
Yeah, I agree, bro. I agree.
Gotcha. All right, so big time West Coast matchup, Sunday Night Football at Levi's Stadium. Chargers and 49ers, battle of 2 second place teams in their divisions. Ed, what are your thoughts on this?
I'm leaning towards the Niners. I think another week of Christian McCaffrey. I think Shanahan will have some exotic plays, not just like running the ball, but throwing the ball. You saw last week or the last time they played, McCaffrey had that touchdown throwing the ball. So I think they're going to get more complex on the offense. I just something about, like, as you mentioned earlier, we used to talk a lot Justin Herbert. I don't know. And I don't know if his wide receivers are going to be there. He was missing Keenan Allen and Mike Williams last week. I don't know if those guys will be back. He'll have to depend on DeAndre Carter and Joshua Palmer. I mean, he'll also have Austin Eckler in the backfield. I think he's leading the league or tied in touchdowns right now. But I just think the Niners will have enough. I don't think Jimmy G will make many mistakes. I think he'll manage the game good and make a first down or throw the ball when he needs to. And McCaffrey and crew, Debo Samuel, Big Debo, Brandon Ayuk and those guys, George Kittle, I think they'll all make enough plays to beat the Chargers. But I think it'll be a close game, like 2017, like all the damn scores were last week. I think that's I'm going to go with the Niners in this one, though. Tyrone, how you feel about this one, man? Chargers and Niners.
Oh, yeah. Niners looking pretty good, man. I've liked the Niners. A lot of people got a problem with Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't know why. The man's accurate and he can read defenses. Those are 2 most intangibles when it comes to playing the quarterback position. Because this little Trey Young guy that people talk about, he hadn't shown anything. And I think you should keep Garoppolo where he is, keep talent around him, and the 49ers will be fine. You know what I mean? They'll realize what they got in Jimmy Garoppolo when they put somebody else in there. So you never know what you got until it's gone. So Garoppolo's the man. I think the 49ers got something going good here since the addition of McCaffrey. And bro, 49ers all the way, I think, man. I don't see nobody beating them. Not with that defense.
You got them like winning the NFC?
Yeah. I got them winning the NFC. Yeah, I do. I got them winning. I had them kind of win. I had them like borderline winning it before the season, but with the addition of McCaffrey, and that defense is still good without being healthy. So I think once they get really healthy, they're gonna be really good.
Yeah. No,
hey guys, I gotta leave. It was cool talking with you guys. I'm going to go ahead and get back to work. I'll check with you guys next time.
Appreciate it.
All right, man. I appreciate you joining us, man.
Yeah,
Definitely
bro.
have you
No
on
problem.
again. All right, man.
I join you one. Yeah. Have a good day.
All right, man. Take care. But yeah, I'm going to go with the 49ers as well. In this one, fresh off a bye week, number 1 ranked defense coming into this game, just shy of 286 yards per game. Chargers, they barely beat the Falcons last week in down there in Atlanta. I like them to feed Austin Eckler, as you mentioned. I love seeing that guy run and score out there. Kansas City, they're kind of, Los Angeles, they're without 2 big names on defense, Joey Bosa and JC Jackson. I believe they were put on IR, but either way they're out. So yeah, give me the 49ers in this game.
And
all right, everyone.
Bosa's always hurt.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think you mentioned that early in the season. Yeah. You're listening to the B&E podcast with Ed and myself, Brandon. The Broncos and the Titans are in the early window on Sunday. Who put this game in the lineup? Me or you? I don't think this game would be. Yeah, I know. But look, Titans, I don't know if Tannehill's going to be back on Sunday or not, but they didn't look half bad with Malik Willis. I mean, they beat the Texans. It was a divisional matchup, so the division already know, they know you and they play you better, even though they kind of blew them out. and they barely lost to the Chiefs last week in overtime. Neither of these teams really pose a threat on offense, even with Tannehill in there, you know, if he was to come back. The difference to me in this game, of course, is King Henry. I mean, Titans have the number one ranked rushing offense, but he's leading the league in rushing himself as usual. I mean, what else is new with him? I don't really have much on the Broncos besides the fact they got lucky last time they played, beat the Jaguars in London. It was on the final drive. A lot of travel for the Broncos as well recently. I talk about the game in London. Now they have to travel to the East Coast to the Music City to take on the Titans. So give me the Teen Titans in this game. What about you?
I'm kind of on a fence, but I think I'm leaning to the Broncos. I don't know why. I think Tannehill is gonna play. I think I heard that he logged the practice yesterday.
Okay.
I think he should be a full participant today, so they'll probably have him out there besides Malik Willis, and I think he'll open up the offense a little more. But that Broncos defense, even though they lost Bradley Chubb to trade, I still think they'll be good and disrupt what they got going with that running game with Derrick Henry. And I don't know. I think I'm thinking, man, I'm hoping maybe because I like Russell Wilson, I'm biased. I'm just thinking they're gonna turn a corner. Eventually, that offense is gonna start making things happen with Jerry Jeudy. It looks like they found a tight end with this guy Dulich that they got.
Yeah, he is nice.
And they still got Cortland Sutton. So I know that Titans defense, especially that defensive line, you know, Jeffrey Simmons.
Yes.
I think Russell Wilson is gonna have his work cut out for him. But look, man, they paid you all that money. You on this Broncos country, let's ride. I think it's a nice slogan and everything. You're gonna have to let's ride for real, make some throws and make some plays out there. Hopefully, Hackett and crew will manage the game correctly. There won't be any time issues or anything like that. But I just think right now I got Russell Wilson over Tannehill. Recent play though, I used to have Russell Wilson up here and Tannehill up here, but it's kind of Russell Wilson. I don't know what's happening, but I still got Russell Wilson over Tannehill. So I think the quarterback, it's going to come down to the quarterback play. I think everybody else is going to cancel each other out. I think one of those quarterbacks is going to have to make a play, and I'm thinking it's going to be Russell Wilson, but we'll see what happens. Definitely see. All right, so this might be game of the week, record-wise anyway. We got the Vikings at the Bills. Josh Allen, he's dealing with an elbow injury right now, so he's questionable. The last thing I heard about him, they're dealing with him like a quote hour by hour situation.
Yes. Yep.
He's dealing with like some ligament damage in his elbow. I think they says the UCL. So if he doesn't play, I don't know if the Bills can win. Who's their backup quarterback? What's his name?
They've been saying it all week. I can't even remember.
What's the guy's name? Let me look him up real quick because I just saw it too.
Yeah, while you're looking it up. Okay, go ahead.
No, you're good.
I was going to say, while you're looking it up, Allen, you know, rough game last week, 2 interceptions, tough loss at the Meadowlands, but the team struggled all the way around. So they are returning to their home turf. They're 3-0 there. Plus they're number one ranked in total offense, over 416 yards per game. I'm going to go with the Vikings in a close one just because it's not, we're not sure whether Josh Allen will play and if he'll be 100% out there. But it is a big test for the Vikings, who they've had favorable matchups recently. They have a stout Buffalo defense in Buffalo that ranks number 4 in total defense there. So were you able to find that backup quarterback for them?
Yes, Case Keenum, excuse me.
Okay. Case
Keenum would be the starter. I don't know, man. You know how Kirk Cousins is in the big game situations. This ain't like exactly a primetime game. Yep. I think it's a afternoon start, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
they got the 10 a.m. West Coast time.
Yeah.
But I don't know, 7-1, 6-2. The Vikings defense, if Josh Allen doesn't play, I think that Vikings defense can contain the Bills offense.
True.
Case Keenum, he's not the guy with his legs like Josh Allen is. He can't scramble like Josh Allen can. So I think he can still get the job done, getting guys involved, Gabe Davis, Stephon Diggs, and crew. But I don't know if it'll be enough because that Vikings defense is starting to play well. But Kirk Cousins, man, it's like an on and off switch with him.
Yep.
So we'll see. I mean, he's got Dalvin Cook and Justin Jefferson, so I'm leaning towards the Vikings too. But I don't know. Even if Case Keenum plays, it would be a close one to me. 2017 type game. We'll see. I'm leaning to the Vikings though in this one. So we're going to go across the pond again for the Seahawks and Bucks games. They'll be going to Munich, Germany. The Seahawks, they got to travel like 5,000 miles to get over there. I know they're going to cross a couple of time zones, maybe a few times, like 5 time zones. True. Compared to the Bucks, they still got a long flight, but I think it's like 3,000 miles less. So, the Bucks are coming off that win. Maybe this is the flipping point in the season. Tom Brady and crew get it going. Seahawks, Geno Smith, they're going to be going against a defense that started. I don't know if it was just the Rams and how inept they are on offense, but the Bucks defense last game basically won the game from. I know Tom Brady had that game-winning drive, but that Bucks defense made sure that the Rams wouldn't do anything.
Exactly.
I don't know. I don't know if Kenneth Walker and Geno Smith and DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett and crew can get past that Bucks defense. I think Tom Brady, he knows Pete Carroll pretty well. I know Pete Carroll still stung with that Super Bowl loss where Russell Wilson threw that pick in a 1 yard on the goal line. So I'm gonna lean towards the Bucks in this game. What are your thoughts on this one, Brandon?
Yeah, I believe in the overseas game, the Seahawks will come out and try to rely on the run. You mentioned Kenneth Walker III. They, had a couple big games this year. They're going to need him to do the same again. Geno, I think he'll be efficient, which he's been all season long. But you mentioned that Bucks defense, they're very stingy. They like to get after guys. Seahawks, they put up 27 points or more in the last 3 games. I don't know if they'll get that much on Sunday, but I think Mike Evans is questionable as of this morning, so we'll be watching that as well, seeing if he gets out there as well. But a stat line, I saw that Tom Brady's only thrown 1 interception this year, but it's not like he's lighting it up in the touchdown category. I think he only has 10, I believe, something like that. So yeah, this Buccaneers need to get off to a faster start. It's been the problem all year, and that's part of the reason why they have the record that they have now. You mentioned the defense late in the game against the Rams. That they definitely saved the day for them because Tom Brady was able to go down the field. He had a couple timeouts, did his thing, but they just haven't been putting up points, and they'll need to do that against the Seahawks because the Seahawks just they've been able to sneak out wins. Nobody would have thought they've been here now. I think we all expected these 2 teams will have flip records at the very least, even though Tampa Bay is 4 and whatever, I think it is. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. I think I'm going to go with the Bucks right now. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes either way. I think I've been wrong on most of my overseas games. So
I wanted to ask you, how's your picks league going? How you doing in your picks league?
Not bad. I'm 3rd. I got out of the tunnel. I've recovered over the last few weeks. Rashad said a couple weeks ago that he could still go winless and have a better record than me. So I've just been focused on beating him. All right. I legit, even when I send out the records, I go back to that text and I reply to that text. That way he could see it each time subliminally, right? As a subliminal message, be like, okay, motherfucker, you want to talk?
Right.
We got a lot of season left. Okay.
Yeah.
I won't end up in first place. Probably won't end up in second, but I damn sure ain't trying to end up in last again. So yeah, I've recovered after that 0-9 early week. I think it was week 7, where I was winless between Thursday night and the early window games. I recovered well. I actually had the best record last week too.
Okay.
Yeah, doing something.
Right, well, salute to you in your picks league. You're doing way better than me in my damn fantasy league. I ain't even gonna get into it. You're, Kyle Pitts and Elijah Moore. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But back to this game real quick. I want to see who can run the ball.
Tampa Bay can't.
Leonard Fournette.
Sorry, go
ahead. Leonard Fournette has been struggling lately. I want to see if he can get going against the Seahawks, because they do got a good defense too. So this is a toss-up for me, honestly. But I think I'm gonna lean towards the Bucks, but we'll see what happens. We'll see.
I will say this though. Leonard Fournette has a little bit of experience playing overseas, so I don't know if that'll benefit him any or not, just from his time with the Jaguars. Jaguars pretty much played every year over there. I think he only stayed there 3 seasons, if I'm not mistaken, or less, but still he had a couple games experience, and that does help. Simple things like that do help out. But looking at some of the other games on the week 10 schedule, everyone, we have Lions at Bears. I'm gonna have you announce these brothers' names that are playing in each.
We got two brothers, both our receivers, Amon-Ra St. Brown for the Lions and Equanimous St. Brown for the Bears will be playing against each other.
Is this the tandem that their father is a position coach as well? Or is this somebody else I'm thinking of?
I can't remember. I think, was this the guy? I know I think he was like a bodybuilder.
Okay. Somebody has a receiver that their father is a receiving coach as well. I remember seeing the game last year, but anyway, that's pretty cool. It's always good to see siblings play against each other. Turning the page, we have the Jaguars and the Chiefs. Monday Night Football will feature Ed's Commanders at Philadelphia with the undefeated Eagles up there at the link. Browns at Dolphins down there in Miami. Texans will travel to the Giants, New York for that game. Saints and Steelers, Rams and Cardinals. Real quick, I think I saw something today, actually this morning, that the Steelers and Mike Tomlin, the only team that he has not beaten is the New Orleans Saints. So I think he'll have a little bit of a motivation in this game, in a sense. And plus, they'll be at home. So I think I'm going to, just a side note, I'm going to go with the Steelers in that game as of now. But which of these games do you have your eye on for Sunday and Monday?
Definitely the Jags Chiefs game. Saints Steelers game too. I think TJ Watt said he's gonna play this game. He's been out for like 7 games, I believe. Yep. So that's definitely a nice addition, because I think they're like the worst defense, and they just took a nosedive right after he left. So I know they're gonna love having him back. Definitely Rams Cardinals, just because of fantasy football. I got a Cooper Kupp in one of my leagues, and I got a Kyler Murray as a quarterback in another one of leagues. So I'll be watching that game. And then, of course, I'll be watching this Monday night game, Commanders at Eagles. I think it's going to be a long game for us. We'll see what happens. And then, I like the Dolphins offense, man. Tua and company, Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill and crew. So I'm going to watch that game too and see how that plays out. Deshaun Watson's getting close to return. I think he'll be back in a couple of weeks.
I think it's 13.
Next week, it's the week after next. Okay, week 13. Yeah, so
for the longest. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you good.
For the longest, I was thinking it was week 11, but then I just was looking the other day or last week, and it was week 13, if I'm not mistaken. Gotcha. And I think they play the Texans that week.
Okay, cool. Which you gonna be watching any of these games?
Absolutely. The Lions and the Bears, I want to see how Justin Fields will come out and, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? What will he do after that 178 rushing yards on the ground last week, the most ever by a quarterback in rushing yards? Jaguars at Chiefs, I'll be keeping an eye on that, but I think the Chiefs are going to really put it to the Jags. I mean, I like the Jaguars, but it's Kansas City at home. They're a whole different animal there. The Saints at Steelers, for the fact I mentioned earlier that Mike Tomlin has never beaten the New Orleans Saints, and I think the main difference there is that the fact that it was always under Sean Payton, so they have a new coach now. They're not playing as well. You have Andy Dalton starting at quarterback. He knows Andy Dalton very well, so I think this will end in the Steelers' favor. And of course, the NFC West matchup, Rams at Cardinals. Rams not playing the best right now. Cardinals aren't either. So, this will be interesting to see. Those games are typically pretty good there at in Arizona when they're at home as well. They typically play decent there at home. So, those will be what I'll be watching for. And the fact that I don't have a game to watch this week, I could sit back and relax for the most part. It's too early to stress about the playoffs as far as seeding goes. So I won't be like rooting against anybody in a sense. I can just sit back and watch this weekend.
I got you. And I think Kyler Murray is dealing with something because they're saying he's like a game time decision right now. So
Damn.
I got to look on the waiver wire for a quarterback now. And speaking of playoffs, what's kind of crazy is even though Atlanta Falcons are like on a 2-game losing streak, they still second in the NFC South, still second. And Carolina still last. So did you see they were kind of talking about on the talk shows this morning, your boy Baker Mayfield headbutting guys without his helmet on?
Yep.
Yeah,
I think he just wanted some attention. You know, Baker got to get his attention. You know, he got to get his TV time.
He don't got to do much to get it. I'm like,
yeah,
y'all talking about this? We talking about it too, but yeah, he don't got to get much to get it.
I think it's just wild the fact that if the season ended today, the Seahawks are going to be representing the NFC West. The Falcons would have almost been representing the South. What is it? The North will be represented by the Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
And the East, I mean, even though Philly is decent, but the fact that it could possibly be, I haven't looked at the standings. I'm pretty sure it's going to be, if it was in today, Philly, Dallas, and New York in the playoffs.
Yep, Dallas and New York are in the wild card.
Yeah, like nobody thought New York. I even thought they was going to basically end up last in the division. You know, I wanted them. You know, my heart wanted them to end up higher and do as they're doing now. But yeah, they do have a favorable matchup on Sunday, so that should be. I think they have 2 in a row against very bad record teams. The Giants do. But it's just crazy how the NFC is panning out right now. The AFC is pretty close to what it was last year, but the NFC is.
Well, that AFC East is. I'm kind of shocked. Jets and Patriots are still, you know, out there. What is the AFC East? Is everybody 500? Yep,
I believe so.
Everybody's over 500. Yeah.
And who is this? Okay, yeah, Buffalo is still leading.
Yeah,
but that's crazy because I think the Jets have the tiebreaker over them. I think it's just the fact that the Bills have one less loss, so that's why they're. Wow, Buffalo's 0-2 in the division.
But they lost to the Jets and Dolphins.
Yep. And the fact that nobody's, even though it's week 10, nobody was winless after week 3 or so, maybe week 4, something like that. It's crazy.
We'll see how it all ends. We'll definitely see how it all ends. I think the Jets are going to start taking a step back. I think Miami will get that second spot. They could possibly overtake the Bills for the top dog in the AFC East. But I think the Miami Dolphins are finding their groove right now. They're on a 3-game win streak. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe even the Patriots will still hang around. But I don't know if the Jets will still be up there by the time the season ends. We'll see. Maybe Zach Wilson will make a believer out of me.
Yeah, gotta respect Bill Belichick. And I think they'll stick around, like you said, but I think it's going to be too much for them to overcome. They have too many issues right now. Not enough targets there for whoever's playing quarterback, in my opinion. But that would be something to see the Dolphins play a home playoff game as well. Not that, definitely. They've been to the playoffs, I guess you could say, since we've been out of high school. But to see them play a home playoff game would be something to see.
Definitely.
Wild year.
Yes, it is. Well, all right, folks. That's another episode of the Breaking and Entering podcast. Thank you for listening. I also want to thank Tyrone for taking some time out of his day to join the show. Everybody out there, y'all enjoy y'all Veterans Day, and we'll see y'all next time.
Happy Veterans Day, everyone. Take care.